Ramble.
Hello. It's starting to feel like fall where I live. It's starting to feel a little bit like winter where I live. Like it's starting to happen. Like over the last few weeks, I've really felt the shift. Summer's over. It's done. Bye-bye. It's over. And it's starting to get cold a little bit. It's starting to get dark earlier in the evening. It's staying dark for longer. The number of daylight hours is shrinking by the day, and I'm feeling it, as I do every year. Because the wintertime challenges me mentally every year. Like every year, I'm convinced I'll be able to be strong and not get affected by the changing of the season from summer to fall. But every year, I get hit by a little bit of seasonal depression. It just happens. Some years it's worse than other years. This year, it's hitting me medium hard. It's definitely hitting me. Like, I can't stop sleeping for one. I'm sleeping all day. I sleep from 9:30 p.m. to like 9:30 a.m. And I get up and then all day I'm tired. And I want to take a nap all day. I have no motivation. My motivation is gone. I have no motivation. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to work. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to hang out with anyone. I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to read a book. I don't want to even go on my phone. But also I'm bored. But also I feel too tired to get up and do chores or something productive. I don't care about anything. Like I'm not passionate about anything right now in this exact moment. Like I just feel like shit, honestly. And this happens to me every year. And that's why as I'm talking about this, I sound relatively okay, but it's because I know what's happening. Like I'm aware of what's happening. It's not like all of these feelings are happening and I don't understand the source. The source is I'm just dealing with a little bit of seasonal depression. If you don't know what seasonal depression is, it is a mood disorder characterized by depression that occurs at the same time every year. Seasonal affective disorder occurs in climates where there is less sunlight at certain times of the year. Symptoms include fatigue, depression, hopelessness, and social withdrawal. It's very common, more than 3 million United States cases per year. It's usually self-diagnosable and resolves within a few months. But of course, as always, if this is something that you feel like you're dealing with, you should always talk to your doctor for real advice, because I'm going to give you some advice today on how I handle my seasonal depression, but I'm not a doctor, okay? I am just another person struggling with it. So don't rely on me for real advice. That's what a doctor is for. I'm just here to share how I get through it, and you can do with it what you may. And maybe you don't even get emo during the cold seasons. Or maybe you live in Hawaii. You live in Hawaii. It never gets cold ever. It's always beautiful and perfect. Or maybe you live in Australia or something where it's summer right now. This might not apply to everyone, but I just wanted to talk about seasonal depression, how I get through it. And honestly, a lot of these things can apply to just having a lower point mentally in general. So, this isn't exclusive to seasonal affective disorder. This can apply to just any time you're feeling bummed out. So, on that note, how do I push through? Well, actually, to start, I'll give you some specific examples of how it's been affecting me recently. Number one, I'm really into scheduling out my life. I use Google Calendar, I use Notion, I use all these different apps, and I'm always organizing my life and my day, you know? I like to have my day scheduled out to the hour for the most part. And of course, sometimes it shifts, you know? Life happens, but generally I like to keep a very organized schedule. Since fall started, I can't stick to a schedule. I've been doing everything I can to stick to it, but I just can't do it. For example, I was going to record this podcast episode that I'm recording right now 5 days ago. But every day I've woken up and said to myself, not today. I just can't do it. You know, I can't talk right now. I'm so exhausted. I'm so emotionally, physically exhausted. Exhausted across the board. I can't do it today. And so, you know, I've just kept pushing it until I had the energy. And today I woke up and I was like, you know what? I do have the energy. Let's run it. And so, you know, it's not like I'm not getting things done that I need to get done. It's just that my efficiency is down. You know, I'm not sticking to my schedule, banging shit out nonstop like I am during the summertime. Like during the summertime, I get so much done. I feel like I can just keep going and pushing myself. And I have energy, you know, I have a different energy. But during the winter, I just slow down. So, you know, I can't stick to my schedule as well because a lot of times I just get too tired and can't get everything done that I schedule for myself in a day. I can't stick to the schedule that I stick to during the summertime. I have to spread things out a lot more in the fall and winter time. I also just can't stop sleeping. Like almost every other day, I spend 15 hours sleeping. It's so bizarre. I'm not somebody that ever sleeps like that at any other time of the year. But during the winter, for some reason, I can't stop sleeping. I just sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep, and I never feel rested. During the summer, the complete opposite. I can sleep for 6 hours and like feel like $1,000,000. Not during the winter, not during the fall. And just in general, I just feel a little bit more lethargic. I'm just not as excited about things, you know? Oh shit, I'm making muffins right now and the timer just went off my oven, so I have to go get them. Sorry, wait, I'll be back. Okay, went and got my muffins. Sorry about that. They look amazing, by the way. I nailed it. Where was I? And last but not least, I just find that I'm struggling more mentally than normal. Like I'm a lot more anxious. I'm a lot more depressed. And, you know, I feel that happening. And it's not necessarily all the time, but it's just more frequent than normal because it's something I struggle with even during the summer. Like I get anxious and have, you know, depressive periods of time any time of year, you know, but I find that during the fall and winter, it just gets more frequent and harder to shake it off or push through, you know, it's just harder to push through and take the steps that work for me to relieve those feelings the best that I can. So here's how I get through it. I have 10 things that I do. Number one, I expect this to happen. When I first started kind of dealing with a little seasonal sadness, it always felt like a curveball. I was like, what? I was just living my best life at the beach every day with my friends, laughing, smiling, and feeling like $1,000,000 every day for months. Now I feel like Dookie.com. What the fuck happened? And it would just like take me by surprise every year. And that would make it a little bit more upsetting for me. Whereas now I'm used to it. When the weather starts changing and it starts getting a little bit darker, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, Emma, you know what's coming. You know what's coming, babe. So start preparing now. Just have it in the back of your head that this is coming. You might start feeling a little bit down in the dumps soon. And I think that there's something nice about acknowledging that and like knowing yourself and knowing that something is coming that might upset you. When you know about it, you feel more in control of your emotions in a way. You feel like, okay, you know what? I'm aware of this. This is not going to come out of nowhere and boom, like explode in my face. No, you know what? I know that this is coming, so I'm in control of how I react to it. There's something comforting about that. And then if it does come to be and you do end up experiencing some seasonal sadness, you've been expecting it. So there's not this added distress of the shock that it's happening. So I think setting the expectation that this is a harder time of year for people mentally. There might be rougher moments than there were during the beautiful summertime. I think that can be really helpful. Second thing I do is I've tried to shift my mentality about the fall and winter seasons altogether. And this has been very powerful for me. I used to think of all year long as grind time, no days off, all year long. Winter, spring, summer, fall, grinding it out, grind time. We are grinding. There is no season for a break. No. Emma, you don't go to school anymore, so you don't get a summer break anymore. No, you go, you bitch, And that was kind of my mindset for a long time. Now, obviously, being an adult comes with this added responsibility of working year round for most people. Not for everyone, but for most people. When you're in school, you get a summer break. And so you get this designated time of the year where you get a break. But when you're not in school anymore and you don't get that break anymore and you start working, that does go away. And you kind of start to get into a system where you're working 365, it like 365 days a year. But regardless of the fact that when you're an adult and you're working, there's a good chance that you can't take the winter off or you can't take the summer off. Like, you just can't. Despite that, you can change your mentality about different seasons. So, for example, I think of the fall and winter time now as a time of hibernation and recharging. And even though I still need to get my work done, of course, I still need to get things done. I can't just hibernate and recharge completely. But by shifting my mentality and looking at it as a hibernation recharging period, I'm less hard on myself about overachieving, if you will. I'm more focused on getting the baseline amount of stuff done that I need to get done, making ends meet, right? Like completing the things that I'm required to do, but not going beyond that necessarily. In the summer and in the spring, I have so much more energy. I think of that as like grind time. Let's fucking get shit done. Let's push ourselves. Let's keep going. Let's push. Let's just push it out. Let's go be social and then get a bunch of work done and then go be social again. Whatever. Like, That's the season for that in my mind. But the fall and winter is not that way. I think of it as this is a time where I just need to get the amount of work done that I have to get done. And with social interactions, I need to just maintain and support the relationships that mean the most to me, because that's all I have the energy to do. I can't completely hibernate. I can't completely recharge, but I can do it more than normal. I can lower my expectations of how much I'm going to be doing and getting done and accomplishing. And I can just kind of enter into a routine that covers all the bases but doesn't go beyond that. This has been really helpful for me because in the past I've carried my mindset from summer into fall and winter of it is grind time 24/7. No breaks. Keep going. Social all the time. Working as much as I possibly can on whatever. Keep pushing. Never say no to hanging out or a work opportunity. Keep pushing. And I used to take that mentality with me throughout the year. But you know what's funny about it? I got a lot less done and I actually was less social. I was also more unhappy because I was pushing myself to just do more than I could during the fall and winter. I couldn't keep that same mindset. I couldn't carry it through. I was trying, but it just didn't work. And so now I sort of break the year up into two. Fall and winter and spring and summer. They're just two different mindsets for me in general. I mean, obviously you have a week here and there where maybe it's the summertime and I'm like, no, I need to hibernate and recharge right now. And it's summer, but I need to do that, But generally, those are my two different mindsets for the two different times of the year. And it's nice because there is a time of the year when I push myself more. And then there's a time of the year when I just push myself less. And it's nice to have both. And I find that I get a lot more done and my mental state is just better. The next thing I do is I sort of shift my schedule around. So, for example, during the summer, I love working out in the morning. I love exercising in the morning. I wake up early, it's bright and sunny out, and I do my exercise bright and early, and then I get all my work done in the morning, and then I have the rest of the day to just do whatever I want to do. If I get it all done in the morning, like I try to. Well, I should say morning and early afternoon, but you get the idea. During the fall and winter, I wake up in the morning and I literally can't get out of bed for like an hour. And then when I do finally peel myself out of bed, the last thing I want to do is exercise. Fuck no. No, I just don't want. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't feel that good. I don't want to exercise. It doesn't sound appealing to me. I don't want to do that. I also don't want to get any work done. You know what I want to do? I want to drink coffee and I want to just relax for a second. I don't want to start jumping right into shit. So I take it slow. I still get things done in the morning, but it's just slow. It's just slower. And so now I've sort of rescheduled my day-to-day life. I wake up, I make my coffee, I get back into bed, I go on my computer, and I do fun little work on my computer. I get shit done in my bed on my computer, and I just take my time. I do all the easy stuff first. Then I feel a little bit more accomplished and motivated. So then, then I might work out, and then I might start getting the real shit done for the day. But I start my mornings a lot slower, and I wait until the late afternoon and the evening to actually get my shit done because that's when I get my energy. During the summer, I get my energy bright and early, not in the fall and winter. So guess what? I just reshifted around my schedule. Now, I know that depending on your job or your school or whatever, it might be more challenging to shift around your schedule because a lot of things the time is not determined by you necessarily. But this can apply to anything. It can apply to when you get your homework done or when you spend time with your friends. This can apply to anything. This can apply to truly anything. When the seasons change, I need to change the way that I exert my energy at different times of the day. And that's fine. We can make our own schedule in a lot of the different areas of our lives. Not in all areas of our lives, but in some, we have control over when we do what. And so utilize that. Next thing I do kind of ties into shifting my mentality about the fall and winter altogether. But I make less goals for myself, but I make them really important. Does that make sense? Like, I make less goals, but I make more important goals. So I'm a lot more intentional about what goals I'm making for myself, knowing that I'm just not as energized as I am during the spring and summer. I know that it takes more out of me during this time of year to get shit done, to accomplish goals. So I make less goals, but I make more important goals. I focus on making goals that I can attain, but that will also be satisfying for me, that are realistic. Ow, I have a cramp. Am I getting my period? Ow. Oh my God, I guess my period's coming. Oh my God. I don't know if that was a burp, like a gas bubble of sorts in my abdomen, or if that's a period cramp. It's kind of in the same spot. Ow. What the fuck is that? Okay, actually, I think it was a burp bubble because I'm like burping now and it's kind of feeling better. Maybe I'm not getting my period yet. Not just yet. That was just a burp. You never know. Like, a pain in your abdomen could be so many things. Especially when you're a girl, it can be so many things. Anyway, that was a burp though. That one in particular. Cool. Okay, moving on. Anyway, as I was saying, so like, for example, for me, my goal for this winter time, fall and winter time, is to put extra focus into my coffee company, Chamberlain Coffee, and make that even better in whatever ways I plan on doing that are not important. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm making goals around Chamberlain Coffee. I'm making goals around my podcast because these are two things that I'm so excited about, I love, and that I work on every day anyway. But instead of saying, okay, I want to do Chamberlain Coffee stuff, but then I also want to work on my podcast extra hard in these different areas. And then I also want to go and start a clothing line. I'm not saying I'm doing that, by the way. That I'm not. But like, you get what I'm saying. I'm not adding crazy goals to my agenda. I'm just like, no, you know what? My goal is to work on these two things extra hard and improve them in these small ways. Those goals are really important to me, but they're also attainable. They're also not overly ambitious. They're not overly ambitious. They're simple. They're small but mighty. And that's what I got in me right now. If you're somebody that deals with a little seasonal sadness, okay, maybe fall and winter isn't the time to start a crazy new endeavor and make a crazy goal to succeed at it by the end of the winter time. You know what I mean? Like, this might not be the time. I know that about myself. So I don't set crazy goals for myself this time of year. That's it. Because I don't want to end up disappointing myself. I'd rather wait until a season when I'm more energized. During the fall and winter, I really focus on the small wins. I try to do this all year round because it's just a good thing to do. But During the winter, it's like, wow, everything's a small win for me. Like I put dishes in the dishwasher, small win. Congrats, Emma. Today's your fucking day, babe. Today is your day. You know, I wash my face and put on all my little serums in the morning. Today's your day, babe. You are a rock star. I make my bed. Holy shit. You are the queen of your universe, Miss Emma. Like, wow. You know, like this is what's going on in my head. Like every time I do anything, I'm like, yes, queen. Whereas during like the summer and like the spring, I always am proud of myself a little bit when I accomplish anything small or big. You know, cleaning my toilet or learning how to play a new song on the drums, something like more cool like that. Both of those are always a win for me, even though one might be smaller than the other, or like accomplishing something career-wise, whatever it may be. It's like, it's always good to accomplish anything. I'm always happy to accomplish anything. I'm less proud of myself for making my bed during the summer because it's easy for me during that. You know, I'm productive and happy in living my best during the summer. So it's not as big of a deal. But I focus more on these small things during the fall and winter and really try to be mindful about congratulating myself in a weird way. Do you know what I mean? In the back of my head being like, queen, you're getting it done. Look at you. You're a rock star. Like, I really try to make sure I'm doing my skincare twice a day. I'm brushing my teeth twice a day. I'm making myself a yummy drink in the morning. I'm getting a little bit of movement in at some point every day. Like maybe it's a walk. Maybe it is stretching. Maybe it's doing a workout, whatever. Doesn't matter. Getting something like that in there. Making my bed. Being nice to people. Like just little things. I really try to make sure I get those things done every day, no matter what. And I don't always, by the way. And when I don't, I forgive myself. But I try to get those small wins in. And that applies to going through a tough time any time of the year. Like all of these things are helpful to do any time of the year when you're just going through a rough time. But especially this one, I feel like is really helpful no matter what time of the year it is. But especially now, it's good. The next thing I do is I make it a priority not to isolate myself too much because I have a tendency to do that, especially during this season. Like it really gets worse. Anyone who has heard me talk about my philosophy on alone time and being social and the balance that you must strike, anyone who knows my philosophy on it knows that I tend to lean more towards prioritizing alone time over social time because I think there's just so much value in alone time. And I always think like if you feel like you need it, you need to take it. But there's also like a point when it's too much alone time and it's not good for you anymore. I think most people, if we were to look at most people and how they live their life and how often they're social, etc., I would say most people probably could use more alone time than what they have. I'm stereotyping humanity right now, but I would just, based on people I know and just people I've talked to and whatever, most people I think err on the side of needing more alone time. Me, on the other hand, I usually err on the side of needing less alone time because I am alone a lot because that's just, I like it just because I like it. And that's what I prefer for myself. And I think it's circumstantial for the specific life that I live though too. I think I honestly probably wouldn't be alone as often if I had a different life, if like my career wasn't what it was, if I wasn't in the public eye, like I think I would probably structure my social life much differently. But I have the life that I have and I'm grateful to have it. And the life that I have requires me to be alone a lot more for my own well-being. I need more alone time. I feel overstimulated quite a bit by my life circumstances. And so I just need more time to like recharge from that. Whatever. But my point is, if you struggle with a little seasonal depression, you might find yourself isolating yourself more than normal because you just don't have mental energy like you normally do. Your social battery might be smaller and you just don't have as much energy to give out to others. I totally get it. And I think you should honor that. And I honor that as well. But it's like you can't overdo it though. And so you got to make sure you're not hibernating too hard. So maybe that's making plans with a friend once a week. Maybe that's making plans with a friend twice a week. But just having things on the calendar that are social that you're looking forward to. Try to figure out a way that you can be excited about something social. So creating social situations that are exciting to you. During these tougher times, going and participating in a social activity that doesn't excite you or that you're dreading is 50 times more difficult. So don't do those things, but still make an effort to be social when you have the energy to. But a way to make it easier is to make plans that you're excited about. For example, let's say there's a new restaurant in your town and you really want to try it. Text your favorite friend for chill convos. You know that friend that just has a calming energy. Text that friend and say, hey, want to go check out this new restaurant next week with me? Like, I want to go. Let's go. There you go. That sounds like an incredible Friday night. Or let's say you want to just hang out with your mom. That is still a social thing. You know, even if you live with your mom, it's not often you probably hang out with your mom. So maybe go to the movies with your mom, you know, just make little plans that are appealing to you. Cater the social situations to you, what you want to do. When I say prioritize getting some social time in with people, I don't mean say yes to everything you get invited to. I mean, get stuff on the calendar that you can be excited about. Because I find that looking forward to things really helps with depression in general, but especially this time of year. Having things on the calendar that I'm kind of looking forward to just gives me something to work towards. For example, I love going out to dinner. It's my favorite thing. There's nothing I love more. I love going out to dinner. And so like twice a week, I'll plan a dinner with maybe one other person, maybe 3 other people. Like, I don't know, just a few people that I really love and trust and that I feel comfortable with. And I just go to dinner and we get to eat yummy food and talk and catch up. And it's low maintenance. And at the end of dinner, everyone goes home and sleeps in their cozy bed. And it doesn't go too late in the evening. We all get to bed at a reasonable hour. It's incredible. I also like things like concerts and stuff. I don't know, music festivals. So it can be fun to maybe find one, buying a little ticket, and then having that on the calendar to look forward to. Yeah, just having little things to look forward to that are going to get you out of the house and you know, get you around other people. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing as long as, you know, you're still honoring your desire to have some loner time as well. I really take my days off seriously during this time of year. During the summer, when I have a day off, I am jam-packing my day off. I'm like, okay, 9 a.m., get up, go to exercise. 10 a.m., go to the beach. Stay at the beach all day. 1 p.m., go get lunch. Bring it back to the beach. 2 p.m., read my book. 3 to 5 p.m., swim in the ocean. 5 to 6 p.m., go home. 6 to 7:30 p.m., go to dinner. 7:30 to 10, have alcoholic beverages in the hot tub, etc. I'm like jam packing the day. I'm like, no, this is a day off. We're going in. We're having the best day ever. During the fall and winter time, I'm like, ooh, I have a day off. I'm going to sleep the entire day. I'm not getting out of bed once. I don't want to get out of bed one time. Like, I don't even want to get up to pee. I don't want to get up for food. Like, I'm not doing anything if I don't want to. I will always get up for food and I will always get up to go pee. Those are the two things I'll get up for, but nothing else. Nothing else. Like, I take my days off really seriously, and I really let them be a day off. I just let them be boring, and I don't hold myself to this standard of like making the most of a day off. No, this is not the season for that. This is not. During this time of year, I need days where I just lay in bed all day and do nothing. And like, I will lay in bed all day to the point where like the back of my head like is all matted up. I'm like sweaty. I'm disgusting, but it's the best. It's the best thing ever. That's sometimes I need to have those days. And then guess what? I feel so recharged the next day. I might not be at my peak level of being recharged, but I'm so much better off than I would have been if I tried to push myself to make the most of my day off otherwise. Another thing I'm trying to do, and I haven't been doing this year yet, but I'm going to need to start doing this soon because it's not fully fall, winter weather yet. Like, I'm not even in the worst of it yet, and I'm already feeling the pain of it. But when it starts to get really bad and really dark and really cold and, you know, I'm going to start making a routine out of going outside at one point per day and going for a little walk during the daylight hours. Because when it starts to get darker for the majority of the day and you have less daylight hours, it can fuck up your circadian rhythms. I don't really know the science perfectly about that. Let me Google it, actually. Why not? Okay. So here's an explanation from a website that I found on Google. When it starts getting dark outside, your brain pumps out melatonin, a hormone that helps your body prepare for sleep. And as the sun starts to rise, your brain suppresses melatonin so that you can feel more alert and ready to take on the day. But shorter, darker days can interfere with this cycle. Less morning light means less melatonin suppression, and that can leave us feeling groggy and sluggish during the day. And earlier sunsets mean that the melatonin surge at bedtime is less dramatic, which can make it harder to get quality interrupted sleep. Thank you to perks.optum.com for that info. But yeah, why did I even start talking about that? Oh, my point is, so during the winter, there's less daylight hours. So it's even more important to try to get outside and get some vitamin D going on. So I'm going to start making a routine out of taking a little walk, not even a long walk. It can be like a 10-minute walk, but just getting outside at least once per day when the sun is out. Because during the winter, I will literally go a week without going outside during the daylight hours. I will end up inside during all of the daylight hours, and the only time I'm out and about is at night. And that can be kind of bad for me. So at some point, I'm going to start going outside for leisure at least once per day, but I'm not there yet. Another thing that I like to do during the winter time, another thing I like to do during the fall and winter time is find something interesting to focus on. Like, find something that I want to dig into. during this time of year. Something low maintenance though. Like, I don't want to learn how to play an instrument. I don't want to learn how to paint really well. I want something that I can learn about that I don't need to get out of bed or even move to learn about. So maybe I'll get super obsessed with like an old philosopher, so I can kind of go down the rabbit hole on them. Or maybe I want to learn about architecture, the history of architecture, whatever. Just find something that I'm interested in and sort of dig into it. But something that is low maintenance. I want it to be something I can just watch videos about all day. So like, I'm still learning and doing something productive, but I don't actually have to physically move. That's like a really good thing to have in your back pocket during the wintertime, because then it's like, let's say on your day off, when you're like, you know what, today we're laying in bed all day, instead of getting all sucked into Instagram and TikTok and scrolling, and the next thing I know, I'm like, why am I reading about this person cheating on their wife? Oh my God, scroll a few more times. Why is this person doing this? And scroll a few more times. Why is this person having more fun than me right now? Scroll a few more times. Why is this person hotter than me? That's not fair. Why are they born like that? Scroll a few more times, etc. I don't want to do that, because that just makes the sadness worse. So if I have something to sort of dig into, like, ooh, I'm going to watch this documentary about cooking because I want to get into cooking. I want to learn about cooking. I'm just going to watch this documentary about the history of French architecture. Like, I don't know, like something that you like, that you just could watch videos and documentaries about all day long. Find something like that. What is going on with me in the like weird East Coast accent? It's so weird. It started for me at the 2022 Met Gala when I interviewed Shawn Mendes. And at the end of the interview, I said, Shawn Mendes. And ever since then, I cannot stop doing like a New York situation. It just comes out at inappropriate times. It's been happening throughout the episode, so I apologize. But hopefully it's not like an accent that's cringe. Like, when some people try to do an accent, like they try to do like a British accent or something, and you're like, this is so cringe. Like, this is not working. Like, stop the presses. This is not working. Don't do it anymore. It hurts to hear. Hopefully it's not like, I'm like, oh, so anyway, Shawn Mendes. And then you guys are like, Emma, shut the fuck up. And you guys click off. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Last but not least, my last tip is I become a self-care absolute freak during the fall and winter. Sometimes. Actually, do you know what? This hasn't always been this way. But this year in particular, I'm really getting into it. I will say it's harder to stick to my skincare routines and all my different little routines during this time of year. And so I try not to be too hard on myself if I can't do it all the time as much as I would like to, twice a day, but I'm really leaning into the self-care. Like, I've been, trying out some new skincare products and stuff like that, trying new things, really taking my time with my skincare routine, using like products that are time consuming. Like, for example, I have all these different skincare things. Like, I have the ice roller for my face. I have like a little red light stick thing that I rub all over my face. It like heats up and vibrates and it has a red light on it. I don't know. I don't even know what it really does, but whatever. I have that thing. I have different facial massagers, all the different types of things, whatever. And during this time of year, I use that shit. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do my whole skincare routine, and then I'm going to get into bed and I'm just going to do a bunch of weird treatments to my face. I'm going to give my face a massage. I'm going to, use my little red light stick that I rub all over my face. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to take my time in the shower. I'm going to exfoliate. I'm going to shave. At around 7 p.m. when I'm winding down, I'll light candles in my room and play a little bit of soft music. And it's like, let's make the vibe. I'm leaning into the vibe, the self-care vibe. And sometimes I don't have the energy to do it, and that's fine. But when I do it, and I love it. Because the thing is, it's like low effort, high reward. You feel really good when you do it. And so when you have the energy to do it, it's a nice time of year to really lean into that side of yourself. I love using little essential oil diffusers. I do have cats, though. And if you have pets, make sure you get essential oils that are safe for animals. I didn't know that was a thing. And then one time I talked about my essential oil diffusers, and I got some comments that were like, you are going to kill your cats. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? And then I kept reading, and it was like, essential oils are poisonous for animals, which can be true. But luckily, all the ones that I have are animal safe. But, just a little life hack. If you have pets, life hack, keep your pets safe and use animal safe essential oils. Anyway, but yeah, there's a bunch of different things. There's a bunch of different self-care things that you can do. If you're into baths, start taking baths. If you like getting massages, like recently I've been booking massages for myself like once a month. Like, okay, this has only happened the past month and a half, by the way. Like, this isn't something that's been going on for a long time. But like, I love massages. I get really tight and tense a lot. So like, going and booking a massage every once in a while. My dad does that too. Like, this is a real thing. Like, massages are the best. And also, they aren't always super pricey, actually. Like, you can find such great places that are not like, don't go to like a fucking spa. Okay. Don't go to like a spa for a massage. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are nice too sometimes. Don't get me wrong. And I love doing that every once in a while. But I've gotten the best massages from just like a normal massage place, not like this fancy blah, blah, blue, blue spa. Because there's like a difference between like a place that gives massages and like a place that's supposed to be like a spa-like experience. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm talking about like getting a normal massage. Maybe start booking a massage like once or twice a month. Doesn't need to be fancy. Just a massage. Like, find those things for you. Get your nails done, maybe. Book those things. Lean into those things. All right, you guys, I'm done. That's all I have for today. I'm honestly, wow, a small win for me today. I got to hang out with you guys. I made muffins. They came out of the oven while we were talking and hanging out. This is perfect. I'm going to go have one right now with a coffee. I'm going to go make a coffee. I'm going to eat a muffin. It's like, holy shit, best day ever. To those of you who are living in a place where fall and winter is coming and you're starting to feel a little bit down in the dumps, just know I'm here for you. I'm right there with you. I'm dealing with the same thing. We're going to get through this together, and we got this. And if you live somewhere where it's summer right now, fuck you. I'm just kidding. I'm completely kidding. Congrats. You're about to have an incredible few months. Going to the beach, tanning in the sun, falling in love, breaking hearts, getting heartbroken, finding a new love, realizing they're not who you thought they were, getting your heart broken again, and then crying about it on the beach, and then getting over it, and then putting on your favorite summer outfit, and then going out for the night and just feeling free, and then falling asleep, waking up the next morning, going straight to the beach. Okay, see, that's if it's summertime for you right now, that's what you're about to experience. So I'm excited for you. But for some of us, it's about to be winter and shit's about to get real. Shit's going to get real, but we're going to get through it. and it's going to be fun. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it as fun as we can. Thank you guys for listening and hanging out today. I really appreciate and love you all very much. All of you who tune in and listen and hang out, you're the best. If you want to follow Anything Goes on Instagram, check it out at Anything Goes. If you want to follow Anything Goes on Twitter, that's at AG Podcast. If you want to check out my coffee company, Chamberlain Coffee, feel free. There's a little special code for all of you who listen, AG15. Go pick up some coffee, matcha, whatever your heart desires over there. For this time of the year, I would recommend, well, we do have a pumpkin spice blend out right now. It's super delicious. But we also have like a super wintry blend coming out soon. I don't know if it's going to be out by the time you're listening, but maybe. So go check it out. I just got super tired. I think I need to eat my muffin and then take a nap. Okay, you guys, I love you all so much, and we will talk next week. All right. Bye.